Hey everyone, it's Marcy Bullock. We're going to talk about true colors. This is a card deck that I usually give out in class, but in case we're not face to face, I am asking you to look at my share screen. I want you to compare all of the boxes in each row. Okay, a row goes across A, B, C, D. Do not analyze each word, just get a sense of each box. Score each of the 4 boxes in each row from most to least as it describes you. So a 4 would be, if I looked at B and it was 4, I would put a 4 here. If C, this one was second most likely, I would put a 3 here. If D was third most likely, I would put a 2. And if A was least most likely or somewhat, then I would put a 1. So you're going to do that as we go across and you're going to score it in this video. So I'm going to be quiet while you look at this, and you can pause this as well. And you're going to do the first 4 rows now. All right, so you have paused it and done the first 4 rows. Now we only have 1 row left, which is row 5. So you're going to do the same thing. All right, so after you have done that, you are going to score. You are going to score. So I need to make this a little bit smaller if I can. Yeah, get this all on one page. All right, so now what you can see is you can see that you are going to score it. So based on A, H, K, N, and S, that's going to be your top orange score. D, E, L, P, and Q, top green. Top blue is C, F, J, O, and R. And top gold is B, G, I, M, and T. So now is the time where you are going to score your assessment. So pause and score. All right, now you've paused and scored. Now you know your top, second, third, and fourth. The most dimly lit color is your fourth, and the brightest lit color is your top score. And so you can look at your order there, and you're gonna let me know which color you came out. Now you know your color spectrum. This is a great slide which shows you a little bit more about the colors. So when I first did this, I was a blue. Surprise, if you've not gotten to know me yet, I don't think you'll be surprised when you read that. But what I had as my dimly lit color was green. That was the one I needed to brighten up a bit, and that's the one that I'm still working on. And that's the thing about True Colors. It's just a way to understand our personality. And I want you to think about True Colors in the sense of, you'll probably remember your color, and it's not meant to be a label or a stamp on your forehead. It's just meant to be a way to improve yourself as a person and get better. So look at the greens and oranges, and then the golds and blues. And in the True Colors Part 2, I'm going to tell you even more about True Colors. But before we get to Part 2, I am going to switch my screen share to the PowerPoint, and I'm going to tell you just a little bit more about True Colors, and then we're going to wrap up Part 1. So this is a 2-part video. I see your true colors shining through. So look at this. This is a great way for us to think about true colors. When you look at this picture, some of you see what? An old woman. Some of you see a young woman. All right, if you've seen this before, you know what I'm talking about. It's the first time you're like, wait, I don't see it. I see one, I see both. All right, so the young woman, just again, take a second and see, this is her eyelash and she's tilting her head around. And this is her chin right here. And this is like her neckline. That's the young woman, that's her eyelash. All right, if you couldn't see that, the old woman, this is her hair up here, and this is her nose right here. This is her eye right here, whereas this was the ear on the young woman. And for the old woman, this is her big chin instead of her kind of start of her neck. The reason I show you this is we all see the world differently. And that's why I love True Colors, because it helps us to understand. A lot of times we look at a card deck like this. And if we're in person, you would look at this, all 4 of these cards, and you would order them on your desk in front of you. So blue may be the first one. For me, it was, because it's like people looking happy together with a rainbow. And it's all based on your visuals. Gold, you might see, ooh, there's a piggy bank there. There's a clock. Yeah, I really like that one. That's our gold people. Our analytical people, they've got the question mark. They've got, you know, they're trying to do some kind of formula with a book. And then our orange, like orange, woo, it's dice and fun and excitement, and they're just sliding on in, all right? So think about these 4 different colors. And again, we've got a 2-part video here, but I want you to just get a quick overview of what these 4 colors mean and associate it in terms of who you are. We're also going to do some activities in class surrounding our true colors. So take a moment to pause and read this slide. And then last slide for this particular video, and then we'll have a part 2, is I want you to look at the personality types in True Colors. And I want you to remember that personality is something that you can grow in, change, improve. If you're low in one area, like I am in green, I'm recording this at home during COVID, and my fridge is behind me. And if my ice maker stopped working in my fridge, what I would do is go, the ice maker stopped working, and I would loudly proclaim that in my home, and someone, probably my husband, would come on over and look at the manual and fix it. That's because he's really great at doing these things, like understanding complicated things, and he likes knowledge, whereas I'm more on the sympathetic, compassionate side. It's kind of like a right brain and a left brain. You've heard that before. So blue, big into authenticity, values compassion, doesn't like insincerity, and expresses enthusiasm. Gold, into duty and dependability, dislikes disobedience, and expresses a concern and a purpose. Green, I talked about you, knowledge, intelligence, explanations. Here's how you fix the ice maker. And they dislike injustice, and they express calmness. Orange, skillful. You like finesse. You dislike rigidity. You don't want to be in a box being told the rules, and you express a lot of optimism and confidence. So there's lots of things you can Google about True Colors to learn more about your true colors. But for our first video, what we're going to do is we're going to stop here, and I'm going to encourage you to watch video number 2, because it's really important to understand your true colors. So enjoy learning about yourself, orange, green, gold, or blue, my kindred spirit people. Hey everybody, Marcy Bullock with part 2 of our personality test, True Colors. Why I really like this assessment is because everyone remembers their colors. They often forget a lot of their top 5 strengths or their Myers-Briggs letters. They get very confused because it's hard to remember. But one color, we can easily digest it. So a couple of things that I want to remind you about in part 2. So in part 1, we completed the assessment. We know our brightest color, our second and third brightest, and then our most dimly lit color. My goal for us is to honor all of the different personality types, to pump up what we need in our life to be the best manager of our life, and to resolve conflicts better and have better relationships. I think everybody would agree that that is a laudable goal. We want to strive to achieve self-worth from 4 different perspectives and not judge anyone. So as you can see on this slide, those are the 4 different perspectives. We also want to realize the power we have to choose behaviors that free us from self-defeating habits. This is not something inborn in us that we can never change. It is something that comes naturally to us, but with some effort, we can pump up the dimmer colors. I'm going to show you some strategies for that in this video. We also want to appreciate differences. Our goal is not to tell everyone to be like me. Everyone is different. If I ask you to clasp your hands right now and ask you to say which thumb was on top, I want you to notice how that feels, and also how to switch it and put the other thumb on top and see how that feels. It might not feel like it comes as naturally to you. So everyone sees the world a little bit differently. We cannot change others, only our response to them. And in the work world, we are working with many different personality types. So it's important to celebrate all of the diversity that we have with blue, gold, orange, and green. So what I like about this particular page is let's see if I can draw on this for y'all. We can notice, like for me, for example, my top is number 1, which is blue: authenticity, compassion, sympathy, rapport. And then I can also see maybe what some people might view me as. I can also see what I express in my life. So with each of these colors, we have the opportunity to celebrate them. We can celebrate our goldness. We can celebrate what's very unique about, I'm trying to change my colors with each one of these just because it's fun. With green, our analytical, that is my most dimly lit color. So shout out to all of you. And then finally, orange. Read a little bit about yourself. Now on this slide, what I'm doing is I am sharing with you the screen, which is truecolors.com. So you have the opportunity to go to this screen and to see what is being posted on that website. Also, I'm going to go ahead and stop that share and go over to the PowerPoint now. So we shared this PowerPoint a little bit earlier. Also want to share these cards that are on the first part of the PowerPoint. And just remind you that if we were in person, you would get to look at each one of these pictures. So I'm just going to hold it right on up here. This is the total blue picture. So you can see you would have been asked to just order these. This is the need to feel unique and authentic, looking for meaning and significance in life, and the need to contribute to and encourage and to care. You also value integrity and unity, and you are a natural romantic poet and nurturer. Now, since we're in a class about work, I'm going to tell you that at work, as a blue, I have strong desire to influence others so they lead more significant lives. Hopefully I'm doing that right because I am a career coach. I often work in the arts, in communications, which actually for me was my major, education and helping professions. I'm adept at motivating and interacting with others. All right, so that was our first picture. Then we have our gold picture. Kind of take a look at that one real quick and notice what you see here is the need to follow rules. You are loyal, dependable, and prepared. You have a strong sense of what is right and wrong in life. And when you move into work, you provide stability and can maintain organization. You have the ability to handle details and to work hard to make me the backbone of any organization. I believe that work comes before play, even if I must work overtime to complete a job. So that is our second one. Next we have green. Look at the picture there. Seeking knowledge and understanding, analytical. And at work, I am conceptual and an independent thinker. For me, work is play. I am drawn to constant challenge in careers and like to develop models, explore ideas, or build systems to satisfy my need to deal with the innovative. Once I have perfected an idea, I prefer to move on, leaving the project to be maintained by others. And lastly, we have orange. Take a look at that picture. This is the acting in the moment, witty, charming, and spontaneous, impulsive, generous. And at work, I am bored and restless with jobs that are routine and structured, and satisfied in careers that allow me independence and freedom while using my physical coordination and my love of tools. I view any kind of tool as an extension of myself. I am a natural performer. So a few interesting things about our True Colors trying to pump up our dimly lit color. So if you have blue as your most dim, you would want to be nice and seek harmony, join a cause, listen, cry, and laugh often. So those are your tips for brightening up your color. If you had gold as your dimly lit color, you want to respect timelines, plan ahead, stick to decisions, rediscover a tradition, prioritize time, and get organized. You might have been told that before. This might not be the first time you're hearing it. If orange is dim for you and you're looking at an opportunity to brighten that up, have fun, and produce joy, lighten up, joke around, follow an impulse, maybe try a new restaurant, exercise, savor your senses, and accept compliments and laugh. And finally, as I just disclosed, low and dim for me is green, so I have to stop and take action, contemplate and solve a problem, ask why, be objective, pause with a knee-jerk reaction, and learn a word a day. So we're going to discuss in class what all of our true colors were. So take a moment to go to truecolors.com to read a little bit more about your 1, 2, 3, and dim.